Good
Afternoon.
afternoon.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
I was waiting. I said, I gotta get one person in here
Yeah. No, I'm
before I
coming.
start my day. Yeah, before we get into this is a good day. It's holy Sabbath here.
That's right. Uh, Trying to get ready to move up out of here.
Hmm. So how are you doing today? You hear me?
Say again?
So how you doing today?
Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. How about yourself?
Oh man. I'm great. I'm always great, you know what I'm saying? Because God's good, you know what I mean, all the time.
Wait.
Uh, even though my truck broke down today, I'm over in St. Louis, but
Oh, no.
or the other well yesterday, whatever. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, we gotta understand. At the end of the day, this stuff's gonna happen. But
true.
the blessing is that I ain't even worried. That's the blessing.
Amen.
The blessing
Amen.
is that it ain't gonna affect nothing. You know what I
Amen.
mean? Because this week was a great week. So I said did good this week. So I say, yeah, yeah. I definitely I ain't gonna miss a beat. You know what I mean? I didn't derail no plans. Just,
Amen.
just put it like that. So, with that being said, I'm happy. I'm so happy.
Good. Good, good, good.
And as usual, we ain't missing no Saturdays.
Amen. That's the
So
biggest
that's the
blessing.
aiming right there. So, with that being said, today we're gonna talk about a couple of things, right?
Okay.
Okay, so the topic of discussion today, we're gonna go with the Old Testament today. You know what I mean? We're gonna go to Genesis. We're gonna go to the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the beginning because see, this is where it gets real, right? We talking about confirmation versus clarification.
Okay.
Now, both of them, in the context of both of them are God's way of letting you know. You know what I mean? Not only who He is, but what He gonna do.
Amen. That
Okay.
part.
And a lot of times people get confused about the two words because they sound similar, right? You think confirmation and clarification are the same, but they're different. And I'm gonna break it down what they mean. So let's go with the first thing. We're gonna go, what does um, clarification mean? Clarification is the action of making a statement or situation less confused or more comprehensible, meaning
Okay.
making it more clear to understand,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay, and then confirmation is the action of confirming something or the state of being confirmed, meaning it is real. We have the whatever the evidence, the actual confirmation, like the actual um whatever is being received is received,
Mhm.
right? So
So fact.
yeah, facts. Pretty much yeah, the facts. You got the facts, so you got the confirmation, so you got the receipts.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
There
so
we
that's
go.
that's pretty much what we got that right there. So you got the clarification and confirmation. So they verse each other, not because it's really verse each other, but it's just two main subject points of the day, and that's what we're gonna really lead on with. So now to go back to the subject at hand, the subject at hand is going to be all right. Here's the subject. These are the subjects we're going to talk about today. Let there be light. Genesis 1 to 31. The Holy Sabbath. Genesis 2, 1 through 7. No man should be alone.
Right.
Genesis 2, 18, 25. You deceived me. Genesis 3, 8 through 13. Why are you angry? Genesis 4, 6 through 15. God took him. Genesis 5, this is chapter 5, 18 through 32. Tower of Babel, Genesis 11, 1 through 9. And let's see what we got here. I will make you great. Genesis 12, 1 through 3. God's covenant, Genesis 15. We're talking about Sarai or Sarah, the patient woman. Genesis 16, the son of promise, Genesis 18, 1 through 15, and God's wrath, don't look back. Sodom and Gomorrah, chapters 18 and 19. That's going to be the subjects of the day. We're going to try to go through them pretty fast, but the goal is to get that with the understanding of what we have, clarification versus confirmation. And that's why this is going to be an interesting one, because I found some things out I didn't even know. Like I found some stuff out there. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, really? Because, people say what they say. But then you see the word is confirmation.
Right.
And one thing God won't do before we leave the earth, he will not leave the information here so you can receive it.
Yes.
So clear. He gonna make sure you know who he is,
right,
and what he will do, and what he's going to do in your life. Period. So let's go with the
meaning giving you the choice.
Right. He
Okay.
the door. He gonna open it. He gonna have the door. He'll leave it open for you. Now you can walk through it, or you don't have to walk through it. That's on you.
Exactly. That point.
But you can't say you didn't know. He won't in this world until you know. Now we're gonna talk about that too. That's why it's important to have this information. So today, since I'm in my normal setting, I can't do the things I normally do with the green screen and all that stuff. So we're gonna do this live from the hotel. All right.
Oh, okay.
It's a little different, but we're gonna still make it look jazzy a little bit. See, I did a little Spider-Man comic book type of thing on the background, but hey, gotta still make it look nice. But other than that, let's start here. So Genesis 1.
Okay.
All right, that's where we at now. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Genesis 1 to 31. All right. It says here, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Key word there. What was hovering over the face of the waters? You hear that part?
Say again?
I said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. What was hovering over the face of the waters?
His face?
No. What was hovering over the face of the waters? The Spirit of God.
Right. Okay.
Now, this is important to understand, because I'm going to make it all make sense.
Okay.
So the Spirit of God is hovering over the water, right?
Okay. The Spirit of God. Okay.
Right. A lot of people say, okay, well, and this will go back to the last chapter we were talking about, or the last Bible study we talked about, like, God being, people believing in the Trinity, right? And understand the difference, like, okay, what was this and what was that, and the word, and that being, Yeshua's son, and then in the Spirit being, so it's like to understand the differences of the different levels of roles here. And we're going to get to that because that's important too, because it's part of clarification. So it says, Spirit of God said, then God said, let there be light. Okay. And there was light. And God saw that the light, it was good.
Right.
And God divided the light from the darkness. Okay. So at one point, the light and darkness was, it was just darkness. And then he made light. And then he said, okay, I'm going to divide them from each other. Okay.
Okay.
God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. All right. Then God said, let there be the firmament in the midst of the waters.
Okay.
And let it divide the waters from the waters. Thus God made the firmament and divided the waters in which were under the firmament from the waters from above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. So in the evening and the morning were the second day. Now, this is important. People say, well, where's heaven at? If I ask you where's heaven, where would you say that heaven was at?
In the sky?
Correct. See my point?
Yes.
All right. And in the Bible, we can get later on, it's going to say, God says, look up
Yes.
to the heavens. So basically, this is why we're going to this point, the clarification and the confirmation. So the clarification is, one, some people might say heaven's somewhere else. Somebody might say heaven's inside of us. Some people might say heaven's on earth. No, it's not. is above the firmament, which is in the sky.
Okay.
So there's a firmament in the sky and a firmament below.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mariana Trench, it goes deep down. We can't go that far. It's only so far we can go in the water before we can't go farther than that. And so therefore, there's things in the water that can't come up, and there's things that's on top of the water that can't go down.
Mm-hmm.
We can't go below a certain point because we'll die.
Right.
We try to go down there to find out what's down there, but every time we go down there,
Don't come back up.
Don't come back up. So like the explorers that went down there recently, like a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, right? They went down there and the ship blew up, supposedly. Well, that's they were trying to go below where they were not supposed to be. Because if they were supposed to go there, then they would go. So that's the first thing. But the firmament above in the sky is where the heavens are, and the stars. It said the stars in the heavens. So that means heaven is above, which means we look up to the sky, we see stars, but also heaven's up there as well. Now, question is where's heaven at? Is like what star? That part might not be clear, but we know it's up there with the stars. So that means we know stars light years away. We're not gonna get there in our lifetime. We're gonna die before we get up there. So they try to send ships up there. We try to do everything we can, send NASA ships and radio signals to the heavens. But at the end of the day, there's only one we're gonna get there. And that's if our soul, our spirit can get there. We can travel there because our flesh dies, but our spirit doesn't. So that's the part where clarification, we talk about where it says, when we can be the heavens, get born again, and your soul and this and that stuff and spirit. Well, those things are not flesh, right?
Right.
So those things, our flesh is gonna pass away, but our spirit and our soul will be for eternity. The question is, what eternity are we gonna be in? We're gonna be in heaven, or we're gonna be in hell, or we're gonna be somewhere else. That's the question. So let's continue. And this is why I said this is the clarification and confirmation of Bible study today, because we're gonna make things clear. And then God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth. And the gathering together of the waters called the seas. And God saw that was good. So right now, God said, he's seeing everything he's doing is good. Okay. Then God said, let there bring forth grass and the herbs that yield seed, and the fruit that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed in it is in itself according to its kind. And God saw it was good. So the evening and the morning were the third day. So this is the third day. He done made the waters, he done made light, he done made grass on the earth and trees and stuff, and plants, right? So one thing we gotta make sure it's clear, understand, see how he prepared everything for us?
Yes.
He put everything, he made the whole scene, set the whole thing up for us. And then before the last day, he put us on this earth. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're the last ones to get on this earth on the 6th day. And then he rested on the 7th day. But we don't get there yet. We still ahead. I just wanted to, because we see where we're going with this, right?
Okay.
All right. So that was the 3rd day. Then God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night. Now, what lights are he talking about?
So what? The lights, what? Say that again?
Yeah, he said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night.
Okay.
You know what he's talking about?
The morning and the night?
That's right. Well, not morning and night. He's talking about the lights in the firmament. The firmament is in heavens in the sky. So what lights in the sky for day and night?
Right. So
that's the sun and the moon.
Oh, right. Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's letting us know that he's making the sun and the moon. So the sun wasn't there before.
Right.
Some people think the Big Bang Theory and the sun somehow, made the earth, and the earth, the particles in it. No, he said he put the sun there. You know what I'm saying? He put the sun in the sky and he put the moon in the sky.
Right.
All right. Okay, so let me see here. All right. And it was so. Then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and night. So he and the lesser to rule the night. So basically he made the stars first. Then he made the sun and the moon. God sent them into the firmament of the heavens to give the light on earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw it was good. So in the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Okay. So the first time he put the stars in, then he put the sun and the moon. And that's the fourth day. Then God said, let the waters abound with the abundance of living creatures. Okay. So he put living creatures in the water now, fish and everything, all them things. Okay. And let the birds fly above across the sky. What's that again? Let the birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens. Okay. So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, in which the waters abound, okay, which means held, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas. Let the birds multiply the earth. So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. All right. Then God said, let the earth bring forth the living creatures according to its kind, cattle and creeping thing and beasts of the earth, each according to its kind. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and every thing that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God saw it was good.
Yes.
Okay. Then God said, let us make man in our image. Let's stop right there. What image he making? He made man in.
In our image.
Right. It says, then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness.
Right.
Let them have dominion over the fish in the sea and the birds of the air, over the cattle, and over all of the earth, and every creepy thing that creeps on the earth.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say is when people say, well, let's make man in our image, who is he talking about? Some people have a lot of different speculations about this. They say it's all kinds of people and all kinds of things, and there's so many different gods and this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But truth is, no. When he said, let's make man in our image, he's talking to two people. Talking to Jesus, he's talking to the Holy Spirit. How do I know this? Because we're going to see in the later chapters when we get to that point. But that's something that's somewhat, I would say, have been revealed to me based off of what I read today. That it wasn't like a bunch of people up there. It was, remember, he made us, but he made everything else before that. And then he made man, right? When he made man, he said, let's make man in our image and our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish in the sea and the birds in the air, over the cattle and everything on the earth, right? Okay. So that part right there, let's make man in our image, that means the pre-existence of, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and God.
Right.
But it says God's talking. So it's not saying that everybody's talking, because he said, let us make man in our image. He's talking to everybody else. He's telling them what we're about to do. Let's make them in our image, in our likeness.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of people think that it was done because like everybody had an opinion. Like, nah, he was in charge of things even then, and it didn't change. There's not like oh, I'm gonna do over here and I'm gonna do this and you do that over here. No, it's one person, but he's telling the other people what we're gonna do.
Right.
One leader. And this is important because people think it's multiple leaders sometimes. They obviously get that a little twisted. So that's important to understand it's multiple leaders. All right. So then there's only one. You know what I mean? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So now it says, so God created man in his own image. And in the image God created him, he created him, male and female. He created them. Then God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish in the sea and the birds in the air and everything that living thing that moves on earth. And God said, see, I've given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you it shall be for food. Now, why is that important? See, this is the part that is so much, it's so deep, because you're gonna see where I'm going with this once it starts to unfold. But you get my point. This right here is a clarification, by the way.
Okay, so why is what important?
What he just said right there about this, about the seeds and the fruit.
About the seeds and the fruit? I missed that. I'm sorry.
I know, no, it's okay.
Yes, I'm
We got
busy.
time. We got time.
Okay,
We got
all
time.
right.
All right, it said, here we go again. And that God said, okay, and God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you, it shall be food.
Okay. So why is
So,
that?
so now here's the thing. Did he say, hey, every animal, every beast, any of that at that point? No, he didn't. Our food was the fruits. Our food was on a tree.
Right. Right.
The beginning.
Mhm.
Now we didn't eat meat later on because the ground got hard to till. But at one point we didn't eat no meat at all. The animals are just there to help out with everything we needed to do. They were there for the ecosystem of things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But yeah, he said there every seal. He said every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you shall be for food. Now, why is that important nowadays in 2026?
Because
Okay, so
why is that important?
mhm.
Because of the sin that's going on.
Nah, deeper than that. See, one thing about it is the devil is crafty,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell you my point now about that part right there specifically. Let's say you want to get some grapes, right,
Yeah.
from the store.
Right.
What grapes do you see?
Different colors.
Hmm?
Green, red, purple.
Right, purple, green, red, right.
Right, right.
Now, what's the difference between them seeds or them fruits now than back in the day when we was growing up?
Hmm.
Mm. You see my point? You're getting there, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, what's the difference between the fruits now and the fruits back in the day?
Difference is it was more pressure back in the day.
More fresher, right?
Yeah,
And why was it more fresher?
because everything was natural
It was natural.
and
Key
it
word.
wasn't. And yeah.
Clarification, right?
Uh-huh.
Key word. The fruits, they yield seed. Therefore, they took out seeds out of our food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know it had been less nutritious now.
Yes.
They have to add nutritious to the fruits because the scientists, right, are working for who? They're not working for God.
Right. Man.
They're working for man and in the interest of why would you take out the seed of the fruit? You take the seed of the fruit because why? You don't want us to reproduce on our own. You want us to depend on you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that part. Ain't that something?
And the food is not even nutritious enough like it used to be. So they're adding additives to the watermelons and the oranges and everything to make it more tasty. Because it was a time where, remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but it was a time where we got an orange when it was like seed orange, it was all sweet and all like, you know, and then it was a time when they took the seeds out of it.
Right.
And it was seedless. And it was like you bit into it and it was like no flavor to them seeds, the oranges no more, or them grapes. It was just like I don't know how to explain it. It was just like there's no flavor. It was not even sweet. You'd be like, man, what is this right here? This is nasty at first. And then they added sugar to it. They added sucrose and made it, did little, scientific stuff to it to make it taste like more like the original fruit, but it never tastes the same.
Right. Terrible.
That's what the devil's been doing.
Yeah.
He's trying to, he don't like us, number one. Let's get that straight. And because you don't like us, knowing that these herbs and these fruits and trees are for our health, and health is wealth, and health is we can live longer, we have good food. Mess with our food is one of the first things he won't do. You follow me? You follow me now, right?
Yeah, hold on. I'm
Okay.
breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming back.
Okay. So
All this corrosion on this doggone tire. Oh, man. I'm coming. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you.
So that's where that was an important thing right there, because for us to have food with no seeds in it, less nutrients in it, it affects our health. People getting sicker now. People are getting diseases that don't make no sense no more. Like people are allergic to things that never was even before. Like who's allergic to peanut butter? Back in the day, I ain't never seen a kid allergic to peanut butter or almonds or nuts or anything like that. But all of a sudden, everybody's allergic to them stuff now. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now people allergic to cabbage and and people are allergic to all kinds of stuff they wasn't before because our body's missing the proper nutrients we need in order to grow and live and be healthy, because they're messing with the food. And this is something that the devil's doing. You know what I'm saying? They mess with the food. That's why Bill Gates bought up all the farmland. That's why his wife divorced him, because they mess with the food.
Yep. Pasteurizing and spraying it with this chemical and that chemical.
Spraying with chemicals.
That's where the allergic stuff comes in.
That's right. So this is where I'm saying this is why we got to take back our food. Right. So one way or the other, we got to, because we don't, then it's going to keep on getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah. At the point we don't even know if it is food at all. So now we eating things. Look at this. This is, now they put on a Lay's ship says made with real potatoes. Oh, let me put it in the camera. I see this? Made with real potatoes. Yes. So what was it made before? It wasn't potatoes before? Because I thought it was all potatoes. That's what I thought. But is it? That's the question. And this is why I say this right here is very important, because God told you right here that the food, the fruits, what I'm saying, is supposed to have seeds in it. Okay? As far as that goes. Okay, so now we're going to go here, and it says here, and also to every beast of the earth, and every bird of the air, and everything that creepeth on the earth, in which there is life. I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. So he's given animals even the food too, every green herb too to eat as well. And grass and everything else like that. So that's why cows eat grass. That's why horses eat hay. You know what I'm saying? They're eating what God told them to eat. That's why they're so strong. And if we ate what we're supposed to eat, we probably be stronger too. Yeah. That's a whole nother story. I just want to get that point out there. Okay, and it was so. Then God saw everything that he made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So the sixth day he did all that. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one. So the next one we're going to talk about, that was let it be light. All right. The Holy Sabbath. That is going to be Genesis 2, 1 through 7. Okay. Genesis 2, 1. Okay. Let's go. Here we go. It says here, it's about the Garden of Eden. Thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished. So, let's say that again. Thus the heavens and the earth. So there's more than one heaven, right? Later on in the Bible, it says there's 7 different heavens. Very interesting, but it's 7. Okay? Like we don't know that. And he's just one heaven. There's 7 of them.
Ain't that
Okay.
something? 7.
So that means there's 7 different things up in the sky that we ain't probably even knowing or even see or that there's life there. Maybe not life as we know it, but a life or life beings or spiritual beings there. Okay. So thus the heavens and earth. Okay. Thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished. I don't know what the hosts of them mean, but it was finished. And on the 7th day, God ended his work, which he had done, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. Why is that important?
Then why is him blessing the earth for the 7 days, you said?
Why was it important? Well, not even why was it important, but on the 7th day, it said that he blessed and sanctified it.
Okay.
He blessed and sanctified it every other day?
He did what? I can't hear you.
I said that God blessed and sanctified every other day for day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did he bless and sanctify those days?
Well, he said it on the 7th day. So anything that he does, I say is blessed.
Well, no, it's always blessed, but you gotta remember something. He made specifically, like he said this day specifically, like it was not saying that the other day wasn't a blessing, because he said it was good. It was a good day. But this day, when he rested, he blessed that day.
He finalized it, yes.
And he sanctified it.
Yes.
See, he ain't said sanctified on the other days. He said this day specifically. So let me read it again. Thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished.
Okay.
And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the 7th day. All his work which he had done. Then God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it.
Okay.
Because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made.
Right.
So this is why we call it the Sabbath. Because when he said man wasn't made for the Sabbath, Sabbath was made for man, he gave the Sabbath to us and said, you should work 6 days of the week, but one day you're going to rest. That means I give you one day off.
Right.
No matter what you got going on, you ain't working one day of the week. Take off. And because of that day, because he sanctified it, and he blessed that day specifically. He didn't have to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he said, no, this day right here, I rested. And I'm gonna make it where, you know what? Man can rest on that day too. Y'all don't have to work on that day because it's a holiday. That day you off. But all the other days you can work. Go hard. But this day right here, take a break.
Yep. Yes, he did.
And people say, well, you know, the Sabbath ain't no more and this and that. Who told them that? Who told them the Sabbath ain't no more? And people will say, sometimes they'll say, you know, oh, Jesus said the Sabbath. No, Jesus didn't say the Sabbath was over with. He said he fulfilled the Sabbath. He ain't say don't do it because God said do it. And anything God said is confirmation. What's going on, Sag?
Good.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Hope everything is well with you, man.
I'm on the road and I'm rolling.
I know you're rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? You're here with us. That's all that matters. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we talking about right now, we talking about a lot of books in Genesis today. Today we're gonna go over Genesis, a lot of the books up to 19. So we just talked about the beginning, right? And in the beginning, we talked about a couple of things just to catch you up real quick. God made, you know, the stars and the water, and he made the heavens and everything like that. So that's pretty much, you know, we're talking about. And then also he made the food for us to eat, which is all the trees and you know, the herbs and the earth, you know, the plants and everything else. And with that, he also said all the foods that had seeds in it, you know? So,
Mhm.
and as you notice, you go to the store nowadays, most of the food don't have seeds in it. You know, they're taking out the seeds out of the fruit, out of the oranges, out of the grapes, out of like anything they could take the fruit seeds out of, they're taking it out of. Or they'll cut it up and they just give you everything but the seeds. Like the apples, they cut them up in slices and give you the, you know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
and they're always messing with the food. And we have to ask ourselves, why is that happening? Because we know the devil is behind that. Because why would you want to get rid of the food don't taste the same? Because of that. And it also, the benefits of it, because, you know, food is, you know, for healing the nations, the herbs and the herbs. So if you're not getting the nutrients from the food that you're supposed to, you're not going to be healed by the food. And since that the food can heal you, right?
Mhm.
You need good food with seeds in it, but they're taking out the seeds, and that's all part of a plan. That's why people are getting sick now these days more than normal. People are dying earlier than normal. You know what I'm saying? All that's because of a lot of things we put in our bodies now. They've got fake food out here now. You got to be careful if you're eating rice because they might be fake rice or whatever it might be. You know, they're putting out and making chemical compounds to make certain foods, even beef
Everything
and
is
meat.
cloning. Yeah,
They're cloning animals and stuff. All that stuff was supposed to be done. That wasn't supposed to be done at all.
exactly.
But they're doing that because of greed, you know?
Yeah, exactly. When God made plenty. When he made one, he just made one. He made plenty, many
Right.
more.
So yeah, and then and the thing about it, if you had to hunt your own food, right? One cow. Now I know that's my personal experience because my dad, you know, he's from the South. So he, you know, we had some animals and his brother had you know, the family land. So he had some cows on it.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, I think, butchered like a half a cow and he brought it back to New York. So they went to Georgia, you know what I mean, got a half a cow or something like that, and then chopped it up and then basically put the half a cow inside of a refrigerator, like a freezer, deep freezer,
Mm-hmm.
and brought that back up to New York. Now on the back of like a trailer thing. That one cow, my dad got a butcher at a butcher shop. That one cow filled the whole freezer up with food, hamburger, steaks, you name it. We had enough meat to last us about 2 years from a half a cow.
Mm-hmm.
You can feed at least 30 families with that for at least about 3 months with no problem. I'm talking about pounds of hamburger meat like this, 1 pound balls, about 1,000 of them. Steaks, I don't know, maybe 100 steaks. So I got tired of eating beef because I probably eat beef now. Because I ate so much beef when I was a kid. I was like, yeah, you know what? Well, it was easy for me to let go of beef. It was like, I like beef. I liked it, you know, don't get it wrong, but I can go without it. And that's crazy because I still love eating beef, but once I had all them beef farm steaks I can eat, porterhouse and ribeyes, and they kind of just like, I'm good on that. And also, you know, of course, now these days, they're injecting stuff into the cows and stuff, making them fatter and making them more unhealthy. The steroids they put them into them. So now the cows are becoming like toxic to us, you know, or that fat content on them. So now it's becoming the cows and the steaks and everything else. The beef, it ain't even healthy. You go to other countries, and I've been to some. You see the cow is skinny. You can see the ribs. Not in America.
God, that's terrible.
Not in America. Them big ribs is fat. they overweight. But not to get too much in that. But yeah, that's what we was talking about. We got to that point, and now we're on a different thing right now. We're talking about the Garden of Eden. So it says here, thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts were finished, and on the seventh day God rested and ended his work which he had done. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. So that's why we have the Sabbath day. This is why I don't work on the Sabbath day. You know what I mean? Because God said, don't work. And even though I don't work on the Sabbath day, funny thing is, and I only started doing this maybe like about 4 or 5 months ago, right? When I really like researched about it. I made more money not working at 1 day a week, which is not good. We both know that the Sabbath, like paycheck in on, what is that? Sunday morning. So that means if I take off Friday afternoon to Saturday night, that's a whole day of me not running. A prime time. Like I used to run all the time. But I haven't ran that same time, and I've made more money running without that day of the week, which is right before the end of the paycheck week. So really, it's 2 days. I'm off pretty much, technically. And even so, I've been making. I made the most money I ever made in my whole career doing that time. Being off from a couple weeks ago, which was 3,700. And that's insane because I worked 7 days a week and I wasn't making nowhere near close to that. Well, maybe a little bit close to that, but not that close, not that much. You know what I'm saying? So my point is it maybe was a confirmation for me and a sign for me saying, keep doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah, keep doing that. And I've been doing it. And last week was a good week too. And it would have been a great week this week when my truck broke down, but it's all good. At the end of the day, I ain't even mad about it because last week was a good week. So I'm like, you know what? I'm cool. I ain't even hurt. And the truck is under warranty still, so I learned something about that too. 350,000 miles warranty, so that's good. So I'm like at 300,000 miles. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go. Let's get that thing fixed and be back on the road. So I said to say this. This is why I take the Sabbath off, because it's the day for rest. Because you know what? We work hard enough as it is. We're on the road almost every day. You know what I mean? Even if we're not working. And I don't think one day is not allowed to ask for. I don't think it's more. I don't think it's not allowed to ask from God to take off a day to rest. You know what I mean? I don't think it is. I think that's reasonable because one day of rest to get you reset and get ready for next week is a good thing. All right, so let's see here. This is the history of the heavens and the earth when they were created in the day of the Lord, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, before any plant on the field was in the earth, and before any herb of the field had grown, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground, but a mist went up from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living being. So we weren't even a living being. We were just dirt. There's another reason why I know Black people was first in this planet. And not because we're going to get into no race thing, but I mean, it was dirt. What color is dirt? Dirt is brown, right?
Yep.
Dirt is black, whatever you want to call it. So for him, we weren't even life. We were, what's it called with the dead body? They got, it was called a cadaver. Is that what it's called? You know what I'm talking about? When it's like a dead body. He brought life into our nostrils. That's how we begat life. So we wasn't even living. We was just a body. And then he breathed into our nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. So we became a living being. When he formed us and made us in his image, we were not living at that moment until he put that life in us. Till he bring that in. And what is that? Some people might say that's the soul he put into us, the breath. He gave us a spirit. He gave us a soul, right?
Yep.
So that right there is important, and that's also, I think, clarification and also confirmation as well, because we can't live on this earth unless we can't breathe. If we don't breathe, we die. So you got to be able to breathe, right? So that's important. Okay, so let's see. That was about the Sabbath, the Holy Sabbath, right? Genesis 2:1-7. All right. Now we're gonna go to the next one. Is no man should be alone. Okay. Genesis 2:18 through 25. Okay. 18 through 25.
Genesis 18-25.
18 through 18 through 25. Genesis 2.
Genesis. Okay,
Chapter 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, it says here. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. And I will make him a helper comparable to him. Out of the ground the Lord formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called each living creature, it was his name. So Adam gave names to all the cattle, to all the birds of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found a helper comparable to him. All right, let's stop right there for a second. This is when God made all the animals and all the birds and all the fish and everything else, right? And Adam named them. But he ain't had nobody for himself. Man was by himself.
Yes.
There was nobody else with us. We didn't have no help with us. We did this all by ourselves. We was up there, you know what I'm saying, naming everything and picking up trees by ourselves. We was lonely. Okay. And I don't know what else we doing, but obviously it says the Lord God seen, okay, and the Lord God caused deep sleep, okay, deep sleep to fall on Adam. So he put him under anesthesia. You want to say that in new terms, but he put him in deep sleep, okay, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. Then the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man, he made one man, okay, and he brought her to the man. And Adam said, "This is now bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman because she was taken out of a man. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed." You follow me on that one?
Yeah.
So we were naked.
Yeah.
We didn't need
Yeah.
clothes. Okay, we did not need no clothes. We was butt naked, and it was no problem with that. And I mean, I can't be butt naked now, but you know, when I was, if I'm by my house, I'm in the house by myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it feels good to walk around like that because that's your natural self.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the soul ain't got no clothes on it. Your body do, but your soul don't. You know what I'm saying? But and I say that because, you know, in the word here, it said no man should be alone. You know, a lot of times, you know, I heard some men saying, "Oh, you know, I don't need no woman." You know what I'm saying? I don't need no female. And I heard women say, "I don't need no man, and I'm independent. I don't need." Listen, man, cut all that nonsense out.
Mm-hmm.
We need each other. That's the devil. That's the devil getting in your head telling you don't need a man or you don't need a woman. Nah, we need each other.
Right.
I need my wives. I need them. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wait. Back up, you said wives?
Oh, yeah.
How many you
yeah.
got? You're terrible.
Hey, one flesh, baby. One flesh. But no, but you know, but here's the thing, you know, and that's all.
Did he say a helpmate or a helpmate?
You know, here's the thing. Even though it started off like this right here, you know, with two people, more people came. And more people came, they took on more wives. And it's in the book of Genesis right after Adam's descendants. So again, we weren't perfect because we had that sin in us, right? Once that fruit got bit, okay, and that sin got in us because we know that people deceive, things change. We weren't as pure we were before. We were pure, so that's the flesh sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you know, did God bless people multiple wives? Of course He did, and that's why it was good. David had multiple wives. Solomon had multiple wives. You know, we can go on a list. It's a list of, we can talk about all them all day. But we ain't gonna get into that because see, what happens is here's the catch.
Oh, we gonna get into it, but just not today.
Well, you know, I got a Bible study about that too. I got a whole Bible study about that. I think Sag was on the Bible study when we did that one day when we talked about that. We went deep. We even went to the beginning of when it first started. You know what I mean? And everything. So we actually got to the root of that. So you know, and I wish more women could see that one because that's an important thing. Because you know what, you can get a lot more done when you do have more people working together. You know, it's like the village sometimes. And that village, we need it more than ever because these days, you know, hey, people ain't. It's not even. You know, look at how the kids are these days compared to what it was back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely a big difference, and I see it all the time. You know, and I would say, yeah, that's one of the biggest things is that you know if you have people looking out for each other. You know, back in the day, if you was bad in school or you was bad out in the street, hey, it'd be next door neighbor whoop you. You know what I'm saying? Come here, what you over there doing? You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, or somebody else, even the hood gangster dude will be like, y'all probably try to jump who? Nah, y'all fight one-on-one. Ain't nobody jumping nobody. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. So you had somebody watching out for you. Now it's kind of, everybody just kind of staying themselves. And now the older generation is not talking to the younger generation. It's a gap. And now that's become a problem because now they don't respect each other. And it becomes problematic because now they war with each other, which is all prophecies going to all happen, but we're going to get to that another time. All right, so where was that? So we talking about the flesh. So that's what happened. But God said, God seeing that man needed a woman. Adam didn't say, hey, give me a helpmate. He might have been doing something maybe that, God's like, nah. He needs somebody himself too, because they got the birds got, they got, lovers. The cows got, what I'm saying, the bulls and all that. And why, they need something too. He needs something too. He over there watching all them having fun and mating and stuff, and he over there looking like feeling something. Nah. You need somebody too that you can love on. You know what I mean? That you can protect and you can, you know what I mean? That's why he made woman. He made woman to help Adam. He made her to be with him, to give you his companion. So that right there, I mean, more people need to read this because these days, people talking all types of crazy and talking about something I don't need this, and I'm abstinence. Listen, I ain't never gonna be that. And it's not because I can't be abstinence, but at the same time, and I have been, but at the same time, no, it's not good for anybody because everybody should have somebody to love.
That's right.
That's a whole nother story. But you get my point there. So that's why this is important. And the clarification there too. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't that, Adam could have, he was by himself before. He didn't know what it was like to, do none of that stuff. But once he realized and what he knew, when he had a companion, he can, be with, it changed. You know what I mean? He was probably happier. So shout out to God for looking out and giving Adam a great woman at that time. That he, because at the beginning she was on point. All right, so that right there is is no man should be alone, because no man should be alone. That's Genesis 2:18 through 25. All right, we're gonna go to the next one. It's gonna be you deceive me. It's gonna be chapter 3, 8 to 13. Okay. All right. And it's about this whole this whole chapters is based off of confirmation versus clarification. And the reason why I say that, because we're clarifying things and we're bringing confirmation as well, not only from God, but from common sense. And we can see that sometimes people come with their own interpretation, but this is God's interpretation. Okay. Based off of what we're seeing right here. We're going to read it, and that's what we do. We're going to read on agendas. We got to understand what we're reading, and we also got to read it from the word and also make your own session. But to be honest, these words right here ain't changed. They're still the same words. It might be a little different, it might be a little more modern, it might be a little more, but it's still the same information. So the word is still there. People just try to manipulate the word, and these like false prophets out here, trying to charge you for the word. They want to charge you, money to get the information God gave you free. Right. That's the sad part. Take your time. Meet yourself, do your, what I'm saying? We here. All right. So this is Genesis chapter 3, 8 through 13. Okay. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord God said to Adam, and said to him, where are you? So that's not saying, God didn't know where Adam was, what area he is at, but Adam was hiding. So he asked him, where are you? Like, where you at? Like,
right. Why are you hiding, Adam?
So he said to him, so he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told you you were naked?
Right. That part.
Have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat?
Yes.
Then the man said, the woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me the tree and I ate it. And the Lord God said to the woman, what is it that you have done?
Right.
What is this you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate. Now, question. Did the serpent deceive Eve? What y'all think?
Eve was hard-headed.
What do you think, Sag? Did the serpent, did the devil deceive Eve?
I don't think so. Eve is the problem.
No, it ain't about that. See what I got from this. See, when I heard it, and I looked at it, I looked at it from a different angle at this time. See, my mind been a little open to seeing things differently because it's just been open to see different things a little differently. And what I seen from it is, she said the serpent deceived me and I ate. No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't deceive you.
Nope.
She was tempted.
Hold on. He tempted her, but he didn't
Yeah.
deceive her.
No, he didn't.
She deceived herself.
She sure did.
Yeah.
She was hard-headed.
That's what I got from that part right there when she said the serpent deceived me and I ate. Because no, he told you what he told you, but at the same time, you didn't have God told you told the serpent, because I ain't go back, but it's a little above that. But when the serpent came there and said, if you eat from the tree, you will surely not die.
Mm-hmm.
But before that happened, she said to him, God said we should eat from every tree in this garden, but leave that one alone.
Right.
Basically, in layman's terms. That one right there, we should not eat. So she already knew God
Yes, she
told her.
knew.
God told her, don't eat from that tree.
Do not. Specific words.
So she wasn't deceived. She did it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Therefore, she's responsible for her own actions. And this is where accountability comes in, because you know why? One thing men say a lot, and I know you probably heard this before, both of y'all, everybody around, because it's 4 of us around here today. What do they say? Women don't take accountability. Am I lying? Have you heard that?
No. Yeah, we heard that.
Vern, you heard that?
No. I hear that women are hard-headed.
But hold on. Have you heard they don't take accountability when when something happened in a relationship? They don't take accountability.
I heard, yeah. I heard some.
Okay.
Not all.
Not all. But I'm just saying you heard that
Yeah,
saying. People saying, accusing, saying, oh, women didn't take accountability. They always, try to put the blame on something else and switch this up. You cheated. Okay, yeah. But you trying to say, oh, try to make it seem like it was my fault. No. You cheated. So, and I say that because accountability is a big thing. And even though Adam tried to say, oh, the woman you gave me, nah, bro. Even if she did, you knew what it was too.
Exactly.
So you wasn't deceived.
2 wrongs didn't make it right. Correct.
Exactly. And so that's why God punished both of them.
That's right.
He punished the serpent first, because the serpent,
Right.
the devil, he punished him first, because he violated. Period, point blank.
Yeah, that's why he was kicked out already.
And I wonder if the serpent would have came to Adam first, would it be the same results?
Right. Yeah.
I always wonder that. Of course, we won't know the answers to that, but I mean, we don't know if Adam would have been weak too and fell for it. But he got the message first. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But same time, she had a message too, and she chose to bite that fruit, even though she's seeing it looked good. And what happens today? A lot of times, things, my mom used to say all the time, wherever it, even though let's say and go, everything that glittered ain't gold. You heard that before?
Yep.
That's the same situation happened with Eve right there. And even to this day, materialism okay, materialistic things, you know, that we want in life sometimes ain't good for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
it might look good to have a drink. It might look good to, you know what I'm saying, to do drugs. It might look good to, you know what I mean, with your friends and everything, but nah, it ain't good for you. You know, that food might look good, but it ain't healthy for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Them gold chain might look nice on your skin or body, but it might get you robbed. It might get you killed.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that glitter ain't gold. Everything that you think is good for you ain't good for you. And a lot of times I see, you know, when I hear stories about, like, I had this girl, another go off the subject, but we have to. It's a friend of mine, you know what I'm saying? We had a conversation the other day. She was talking about something she read about a girl that she seen online that had AIDS. The girl on the line had HIV, and then she got AIDS, whatever. So she got it from a dude that was, I guess, on the campaign with Trump named King Face. He passed away. But he was like, you know, a popular person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, you know, tell me the story about what happened, what you seen online. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, all right. You know, like, what's the story got to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it? You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was like, well, you know, the story I seen online, and she was like, you know, it's a crazy story, you know, the girl, whatever. She felt like sorry for the girl. And I'm like, well, I don't feel sorry for none of them. And she was like, why you don't feel sorry for her? And I was like, well, because she had a choice. We all have choices. And every choice we make has consequences. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And she was like, well, yeah, but it's not her fault that she got AIDS from the dude. The dude gave her, no, the dude didn't give her AIDS. She slept with the dude that she don't know. She never got probably tested or none of that shit. She slept with him and she got AIDS. Unfortunately, it's sad because she's a beautiful woman, but she chose to sleep with him. And why did she sleep with him? Because he was somebody important, because he was with Trump or something? Like, because he was on TV?
Mhm.
You thought because he was a good man because what? He got a little money with him and stuff. He was able to take care and buy you stuff and do some nice things for you. You going with the glitter.
Yep.
You look at that fruit. You look at that apple. You say, oh, he's this, he's that, and you slept with him. And
Mhm.
now you got AIDS.
Gold digger.
And she might not have been a gold digger, but you know what it was? She didn't do the research. She didn't take the time to get to know him. She didn't get the time to make him wait. Make him wait. You know what I mean? First of all, are you married to the man? Was she? That's what actually I said. Was she married to him? She said no. Actually, he had a wife. So he has a wife.
Mm.
So he had a wife, and she slept with him still. Oh, she didn't know he had a wife. But even so, did she even research to find out he had a wife? Probably not, because she was focused on what she wanted out of the situation. What she wanted, like she wanted with him. She would think about nothing else besides what she wanted. And that's that selfishness that caused her to get a disease that is uncurable, that can kill you. And anything can kill you in life, but that right there is something you don't want to die with. Who want to get that? But my whole thing is this, right? The accountability part is that she try to somewhat take the blame from the fact of the matter that this grown ass woman made a choice to sleep with this man that, come to find out, was married, and his wife probably got it too, which I think she probably do. But even so,
Boss. That's right.
even so,
Hell that.
he gone now. He passed away. He did. She's still living. And then she goes to get married again to somebody else. Wait a minute. So you get cursed because you sleep with a married man.
That's terrible.
You get AIDS, and now you want to go and give somebody else AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, oh, well, what if you got, you know, a wife, and what if she, listen, first of all, let's say this right here, because I don't play them games. But I will say this, and this is being real. If I have a wife, and my wife gave me something that is uncurable, what would be the point of breaking up with her and then going to somebody else and trying to talk to somebody else if she gave me AIDS or something like that? I don't think that would be the right move to make if somebody gives you something like that, especially if it's your wife. But in this case, it wasn't. He was still with his wife. He just had a side piece and he slept with her. He was wrong, of course. We know he's wrong. He was wrong all day.
Right.
But she was also not blameless for the fact of the matter that she chose to sleep with this guy. She chose to sleep with him. And we all make choices. So no, I don't feel sorry for somebody to make a choice. If I make the same choice and it happened to me, it'll be the same. You got to take accountability. So I said to her, I'm like, yeah, that's just because you know, somebody does something. Yeah, listen, if you follow what God said, chances are that won't happen. For one, he was married. So that's adultery. If you commit adultery, that's a sin, right? It's one of the commandments. Things like this can happen. And who fault is to blame? But we breaking the laws. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, nah, we can't sit there and say, oh, you kill somebody and you go to jail for life. You kill somebody. You shot him. Over what? Oh, because he stole a chain, or because he, you know what I mean, smacked your girl butt, whatever the case might be, you're going to jail, buddy. You know, and I've been in a situation where I've seen something like that happen before. You know, where some guys, one looked like Quavo. I was back when I was in Atlanta, and it was all about a car. We walking past it, and the girl was with us, was not with us. You know what I mean? But she was walking, and the dude reached out and just palmed her butt in Atlanta. She just grabbed it. And I said, ooh, I cold act like I ain't see it. I ain't gonna hold you. I know they had guns on them, and I didn't have one. And even if I did have one, it ain't my girl. But we just met her. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, because me and my boy was there, we was like, he turned his head too, kept moving. Why? She played all smooth. She kept moving too. But it's a simple fact that people die every day over less.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that being said, accountability is the key here with this right here one. And the fact of the matter is that even though the serpent tempted her with the idea of biting that fruit, it was her decision at the end of the day. And it was also Adam's decision as well to eat that fruit, because when she gave it to him, he could have said, nah. Heck, nah, you know what God said.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But he didn't. He ate it too. So he's also to blame. So he can't blame her and say, oh, yeah, she made me do it. The woman you brought. No, don't try to do that. Don't try. That's what God checked. No, don't do that. Because you knew what it was too, bro. You knew what it was. So you ain't blameless because she gave you the fruit. You still bit it. And I told you not to do it. So you get punished too. So that's why, you know, confirmation and clarity is very important, because clarification, and I'm gonna go back what clarification means. Okay. The action of making a statement or situation less confused or more comprehensible. Do they both know that this fruit was not to be eaten? Yes. Do they both know that they ate that fruit? It's gonna be a bad consequence? Yes. They know how bad consequences is gonna be, probably. I don't know. They don't say that, but they knew it was gonna be a consequence that wasn't good.
Right.
Okay, maybe they didn't know that be disobedient would cause or would get them, because they didn't be disobedient to that point. But still, they knew that what it was going to be after they bit the apple. Because now God knew you bit it because you said you was naked, and he like, who told you was naked? You know, he made you to be free, to be happy, to love each other, and you up there doing what he told you. And to multiply, and you up there biting the fruit that he told you. All the thing he told you, he ain't give you that. He ain't give you 10 different rules. He ain't tell you, man, don't drink the water over here, or don't, you know, go and sit down over here. Don't go on this side. No, he said, don't eat that tree right there in the midst of God. That's it. So clarification, that is, and confirmation is the action of confirming something or the state of being confirmed. Did God confirm, don't eat that fruit? Yes. But they still did it, even though they knew for sure not to bite it. All right. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. And why are you angry? Genesis 4, 6 through 15. Genesis 4, 6 through 15. Okay, why are you angry? That's what we're talking about today. So the Lord said, Cain. So the Lord said to Cain, why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? And what you mean by countenance is, why is your face, your expression changed? Okay. Now, the reason why it changed because both of them brothers had something to do. God told them to bring the best of their stuff, their flock or their garden, right? And Cain was a farmer, and Abel had the animals. He was livestock. He was a herder. He had the animals. Okay. Abel brought all the best animals he had and gave to God in sacrifice. Cain didn't give the best of his fruits and vegetables. He kept them for himself and gave just what he gave him. The beet fruits, the ones with little bruises on them stuff. He didn't get the ones shiny ones that are perfectly shaped, fruits and all that stuff. The orange is all, nice and juicy. He gave him the other one that might have been a little bit thin, on the skin. Whatever it was. He gave him fruits, but he didn't give God the best of his fruits. You see, people think they can just give mediocrely, and they're going to get to heaven. Some people think they can just do all right. They can just do, bare minimum, and they cool. They straight. You got to get the best of you, all the time.
Yeah.
As much as you can. And this is the part where, this is why this is important. This is why it's clarification versus confirmation. All right. And it says here, he said to him, why are you angry? Why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? That's what God said. If you do well, will you not be accepted? Meaning, if you give me the best of your fruits, would you not be accepted? Would you not be loved? Would you not be get the blessings that you know what I mean?
Right.
And he said, and if you do not do well, sin lies at your door.
Say what? I missed that part.
And if you do not do well, sin lies at your door. Meaning,
okay. Gotcha.
If you don't do well, chances are it's going to cause you to sin. Because, when you don't do well, when you don't try your hardest, your best, eventually you're going to get discouraged and you start doing the stuff you're not supposed to be doing. Okay.
I don't mind devil's time.
Right. And it said, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. So he's saying, okay, if you do not do well, sin lies at your door, and its desires is for you, but you should rule over it. So its desires is for you, but you should rule over it. Meaning don't let anger take control. Don't let it, you know what I'm saying? You got to rule over the anger. You got to control your anger.
Yes. Don't let it
Control
ruin your life.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what he's saying to him, because Cain wasn't happy. That's why his face, you can see in his face, his expression. He wasn't happy. When Abel, he was happy with Abel's stuff, but he was happy with his stuff. Yeah, he was tight about it. Like, why my stuff ain't good enough? You ain't giving the best of your stuff. That's why. Yes, you give the best of your stuff, you give him, the leaves, the brown leaves. You know what I mean? What's up with you? But again, God told him that. And guess what he do next? Now, Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him. So you was that mad and jealous at your brother, you killed him.
That's sad. Yeah. We got a lot of that going on right today.
Jealousy is one of the number one reasons, man.
Yeah, with that. That's a dangerous thing, man, that jealousy.
Then the Lord said to Cain, where is Abel, your brother? He said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?
Well, he got smart.
Yeah, he did. He did get smart.
Okay.
He got smart with God, yo. The audacity. The person who gave you everything you needed, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You got all the stuff you needed. Okay, y'all with the garden and all that stuff, and you got work and all that stuff. But guess what? You still got your life. You still got plenty. You got all that, and you said, I don't know. Knowing you lying, you know exactly where you at. Am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah, that was sad.
Martin Luther King used to say, man, you know, an injustice anywhere, justice everywhere. If you watch somebody else get beat on and you don't do nothing about it, you know different from the person that's beating on them.
That's the truth. Yeah.
If you don't stand up for what's right, if you don't stand up for what's right, you know different from the people that's wrong.
Right. And we all know right from wrong.
You know, recently I made a post about Don Lemon. So Don Lemon got arrested the other day. I don't know if y'all seen it or not. Don
Who's that?
Lemon,
No.
that newscaster, black dude from CNN.
Oh, no.
Oh. I know him.
What's his name?
Don Lemon.
Don Lemon.
Yeah, Don Lemon is his name.
Oh, Lemon. Okay. What
Yeah,
happened?
so he got arrested the other day because he went to a rally in Minnesota.
What did he do?
He went to a rally in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. The rally.
Oh, that girl that got shot by the ICE agents?
Yeah.
White girl.
Sad.
Now, here's the thing. This is why I don't respect it. Just like, you know, God didn't respect that them vegetables and fruits that Cain gave to you know what I'm saying, to him. Okay? And so do better the next time. You know what I'm saying? For one, he ain't go to no other protest that I've seen. I looked it up. He didn't go to, you know, Sandra Bland. He didn't go to Tamir Rice. He didn't go to, what was that, Breonna Taylor. He might talked about it on the news and everything, but he ain't go there to support in person.
Why did he get arrested then?
Well, he got arrested because he went to support the girl that got killed in Minnesota, which is kind of odd because he's a black man now, right? You know, but that ain't really the reason. He went to support her because she's part of a community that he's part of, because he's an openly gay man. And she was in a relationship with a woman. So what I don't like about the situation is you pick and choose which battles you want to fight.
Right.
So you want to go and support that one, but you ain't go to no Breonna Taylor that got shot, or Philando Castile, somebody else that got killed even more. Wasn't a protest. This is in a car driving.
Excuse me. I see a moon in the daylight. Right now. Yes.
A moon in the daylight?
Yes. I wish I could take a picture.
You take a picture of that one. I want to see that. You take a picture of that one for me. But yeah, so my thing is, you know, when it comes down to it, yeah, I didn't respect the fact of the matter that he didn't, you know what I'm saying, come to anybody else's defense or go on any protest, but he'd go to protest in Minneapolis because the girl is, you know what I'm saying, part of that community that he's a part of. And
you didn't answer me.
What happened? What you say?
I said, did you see it?
No, I ain't see it. I thought you were gonna take a picture of it.
Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna take a picture. Let me see.
Shoot. Take a picture. I want to see that one.
Okay.
So yeah, he said, where's Abel, your brother? And he said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me.
Oh, wow. You can't even take a picture of it.
That's wild.
Yes.
So yeah, he said his blood. So so God knew something was wrong because his brother, Abel's blood was crying out to him on the ground. That means his blood was spilled on the ground. You know, There's also clarification that God's everywhere, in everything. He's in the ground, in the dirt. He's also in the air. He's also in everything. You know what I mean? So that means he could be in a burning bush. He could be in, you know what I'm saying, in an animal. He could be anything that God want to be in, he could be in. And why is that important? That just goes to show you whether he knows when something's going on, when blood is spilled on the ground, because he can tell. He can feel it, he can see it, he can, you know what I mean? So God knew that Abel was either injured or dying somewhere on the ground because his blood was on the ground. That's why he said, "What have you done to Cain?" Okay. He said, so now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond, you shall be on the earth. And Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth. And it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me. And the Lord said to him, therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone find him should kill him. So he put a mark on Cain, so nobody would kill Cain. So even if Cain did that, even though Cain was wrong and killed his brother, God still protected him.
Yeah.
He still protected him, even though he committed an act.
I gotta go. I'll be back. I gotta go.
Yeah. Okay. So that right there is what happened with Cain, and what I got from that one is clarification. One, clarification is that we know it seems like, Cain was jealous of his brother, and the confirmation was he killed him. Right?
Yes.
We also have the fact that he got cursed. And he also knew that people want to kill him after he killed him. So God put a mark on him to protect him. And that means even in the situation where he was totally wrong for doing that, pretty much, God still forgave him and let him live, because he could have killed him right there if he wanted to. But instead, he didn't kill him. Instead, he protected him.
Right.
Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. But, Cain I'm pretty sure had it bad even after that. But, at the end of the day, this is was a problem, because there was no murder. He was the first murderer. Technically, no. The first murder would have been the devil, which is why he got cursed like he did, beginning to bite that fruit. But the second murderer, or physical murderer, that did something to somebody is Cain. He was the first one that really actually, killed somebody, and he killed his own brother at that.
Okay.
So it's like, that sin that his mother and father passed on to him, it's the problem. And that caused him to sin a grave sin and kill his brother, which, is the reason why we have so much drama these days, people killing each other, because it's in us, because of the sin of Adam and Eve, not listening. So that's important to understand. All right. So we got that one. So now we're gonna go on to the next one, which is God took him. All right. And that is gonna be Genesis 5:18-32.
1 second.
Okay. Okay, here we go. it said Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. After he begot Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. After he begot Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years. Okay, so I just make that clear, because if you read the whole chapter, right? We're talking 1838, but the whole chapter talking about the genealogy of God's people, right, from the line of Shem.
Right.
And this is what I want to clarify and want to get confirmation on, and I want you to see this part as well. So it was a whole bunch of people before this that they were talking about, and they all died, right? But it says here specifically, Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. After he begot Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years for 300 years, right? And had sons and daughters. Now, why is it important? Everybody else didn't say that. It didn't say they walked with God. But it said Enoch walked with God, okay? 300 years. That's important to understand. And I'm going to say why, okay? He had sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years, okay? And Enoch walked with God. And he was not, for God took him.
Okay.
Let me say that again.
Yeah.
Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him, meaning he did not die. So everybody else, they died. They lived through 90 years or 800 years or 500 years, and they died. It said that about it. But when he got to Enoch, he walked with God for 365 years, and he did not die. Because God took him. That's why I named that God took him. Because when you walk with God, you don't die. You have everlasting life. Jesus said that later on in the scriptures, in the New Testament. He said, what? You know what I mean? If you follow me, you will live everlasting life. You know what I mean? So you have to follow God. If you follow God and follow his laws, you will live. That's the way to salvation. If you don't follow him, you ain't gonna live forever. You ain't gonna go to heaven. So you gotta follow. And until you're born again, you gotta be born again to even have a chance.
Straight on ramp to I-81 north.
And that's the part where that's important to know, that Enoch didn't die. God took him, it says here. Okay. And right after that, it says Methuselah, right, which was his son, lived 187 years and begot Lamech. After he begot Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. So his father that made him didn't die. Enoch didn't die, but his son did. And everybody after that died, pretty much, right? And only been maybe about 3 people are thinking about what I remember of that didn't die. God took them. One was Enoch, the first one. The second one was, I want to say, Abraham. And the third one was Moses. Moses. Yeah, Moses got taken up too. All 3 of them, they didn't die. God called him Mount Sinai, and then they said God took him. It didn't say he died. That's important.
Eli as well.
Eli, I gotta look that up, but I get all the top of my head. I don't remember, but I know Moses was. That's why they didn't have his body. They looked for Moses' body, they couldn't find it, right? Because his body was taken up. That's why he didn't go to Promised Land. Because when God take you up, it's 2 things could be happening here. You know what I mean? Usually it's because you're a good person and you're worthy of that right to be taken up. But also Maybe he didn't want him to be worshipped, because sometimes people are stupid. People might, worship Moses, right? Because he brought them the word, right? And he brought them, God, and gave them the commandments, because God gave the commandments to Moses to give the people. So maybe people start worshiping him because they don't know better. You know what I mean? And they started being like, oh, because he brought us the information, we're going to worship him. And take his body and made a whole, cathedral around it or something, and do like they do in Mecca and pray to the cathedral. Maybe he said, no, we ain't going to do that. I'm going to take him up. So there ain't no body. So you ain't going to be praying to a building and to, to his baby pictures. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes kind of sense, right? But yeah, he didn't die. It said God took him. He was not, for God took him. Okay? That makes really good sense right there, right? So that's clarification again. Clarification is, right, to have what? The action of making a statement or situation less confused or comprehensible, to make you understand that everybody's died, but he ain't died. God took him. And confirmation was, it said, he ain't died. The action of conforming something, and the state of being confirmed. It was confirmed that he did not die. Everybody else, right after him, his son died, after living in 900 years, but he didn't die. His father didn't die. Enoch, he didn't die. And that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that, God, what I'm saying, he's very, very specific. Okay, especially Old Testament. Old Testament is so specific. Like, you can't not understand that. Like, it says this person had this person, that person made this person, and this person did this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like really like back to back, like in order, chronological order. So really no confusion really like that, because you know where they come from. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. Tower of Babel. Okay. That's Genesis 11, 1 through 9. Tower of Babel. You know that story?
Which story?
Tower of Babel.
I don't think so.
Okay, so the brief synopsis is basically Tower of Babel is based off of God destroying the tower of a city that was building, and basically.
You said, I'm sorry. You said tower?
Oh, tower. Yeah, Tower of Babel. Okay,
I thought you said a name, a tower.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, the Tower of Babel. That's what the name of this next subject is going to be.
And what's that? Genesis what?
Genesis 11, 1 through 9. Okay. So it says here, now the whole earth had one language and one speech. Let's start right there.
Yeah, remember.
There was a time we all spoke the same language.
Yeah.
That means, Sag, it wasn't no French or Creole. No Spanish. That means Vern. That means it wasn't no English.
Everything was on one accord. Yeah.
That means it wasn't no German or whatever. There wasn't no African or whatever language people speak. It wasn't none of that. It was only one.
Right.
Which language that was don't matter, but it was one. Okay, so now the whole earth had one language and one speech, and it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Then they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." Yep. They had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth." So they were trying to make a name for themselves. They were trying to leave a mark. Okay. And they said, "Lest we be scattered abroad around the world." So they basically said before they got scattered. So I don't know what's going on before then, but before they got scattered around the world, right? They were all together.
Right.
And he said, before we get scattered abroad over the face of the earth, let's make ourselves a name. Let's build this city with this tower that goes to the heavens. They're going to build something so big, it went all the way into to the heavens, yo. But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And the Lord said, indeed, the people are one, and they have all one language. And this is what they begin to do. He said, this is what y'all begin to do. Now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. Come, let us go down. Key word, let us. Ain't gonna say, he said, let us go down. So maybe he's sending down people. But he said, let us go down there. It don't mean literally for him, but it means literally but it could be literally too as well. And then later on, we'll see that literally part come to fruition. But he said, let us go down there and confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face, all over he scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth. And they ceased building the city. Therefore, its name is called Babel, because the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there, the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. So not only did he change the language, he moved us around. He was doing too much. See, this was the problem since the beginning. We're doing too much. We're trying to do something like this. We're trying to build a whole tower and a city that's so big and go to the heavens and all that stuff. He said, man, y'all doing too much. Let me just go ahead and just stop all that. And he stops it. And he scattered them abroad and changed the language. So now, Vern over there, Sag, you over there. I'm over here. We all speaking different languages. Ain't no FaceTime. We can't get on FaceTime right now. We're doing now. We bring come back together now. But back in the day, we couldn't do this. We couldn't be. Now I ain't meet none of y'all until I met y'all, right?
Yeah.
Y'all to come where I was at and somehow meet. Had to see me somewhere and we met. It wasn't no FaceTime. We couldn't just get online and link up. But my whole point is, he scattered us because of what we was doing. Okay. And the clarity in that one is the speech part, Is it come on, let's go down there and confuse their language real quick. That they may not understand one another's speech. He didn't want us to know each other's speech because guess what? He wants to be different. Why? Because he knew if we all knew the same stuff, we would start doing the same stuff. And it becomes a cult at that point. Now everybody's just gonna follow one thing. Now, is that a bad thing? To a certain degree, it is, because it'd be nice if we all spoke the same language. But now you know why we don't. Not because it was us just making up new languages and stuff, because God did it on purpose. He made a language different, And now I think sometimes the devil uses that to his advantage to try to confuse us even more because he knows we don't speak the same language. So he knows he can come in and, do something over here and do something over there. And you wouldn't know what's going on over there because you don't speak that language. And you don't live over there either because you over here, 4,000 miles away. We ain't all together. We all cousins and family and brothers and sisters all live in the same area now that we used to. We used to all live together in the same area. Now we spread all around the world. You could be in Haiti, you could be in America, you could be in Europe, you could be in Australia. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happened to us. So that's why we ain't able to talk to each other and know everything we're saying, unless we speak the same language, unfortunately. And this is why people that can speak multiple languages, have a different understanding of life because they can talk to more people. They can travel more, they can do more things. So knowing more languages, what they call talking in tongues, that's a skill. That's a whole, a big thing. So
and now we can translate.
We can translate, right? If I go to Haiti, I'm like, yo, I'm bringing my boy Usag with me. Let's go. Yo, I ain't gonna be speaking Creole French. That's you. Hey, let them know what I say. I want some chicken with rice. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and you can be like, yeah, he wants some chicken and rice. That's being able to communicate. So if we all have the same language, we didn't even have to do that. And I've been interested in how things would have been if we always would have that. Like to now, just imagine we all had the same language to now. Like that'd be ridiculous. We would have everything we done probably created. We'd have created 1,000,000 years ago. That's a whole nother story. It wasn't meant to be. That's why.
Right.
All right. So that right there is why, that's important to understand. That God changed the language. That's the confirmation. He changed it and he moved us around. So this is why Black people live in Africa. And White people live in Europe. And Spanish people lived in Spain. And Native Americans living in America or whatever. And whoever else lived everywhere they lived. And Australians and all, because everybody got moved. How did that happen? It could have been Earth split up. Pangea, they said Pangea, all the landmasses was all one at one point. Now it was all separated. That's what they say. It got separated by earthquakes and all things like that. So who knows? That's what could have happened. It could have separated us and just broke us all apart. And wherever we landed at was when we was on.
Yeah.
But that's a I don't know, this confirmation. That's more of like just maybe why it could have happened. Okay, so let's see. The next one is, next subject is going to be, I will make you great. Genesis 12, 1 through 3. Genesis 12, 1 through 3.
I sent you the picture.
I seen it. I definitely
You
seen it.
believe me?
Huh? Yeah,
You
I can't look at it right now, but
I know.
Okay. So, promise to Abraham, right? Now, the Lord said to Abraham, get out of your country. Get from your family and from your father's house to a land that I will show you. I will make a great nation. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Okay? That was something that he promised to Abraham. God promised to Abraham. So he made him great. He made him the father of many nations, which is what he became. How did he get to do that? Because of Noah. Noah, it came after Abraham. You follow me? And Noah, when God flooded the world and killed everybody besides Noah and his family, that was the line of Abraham. That's important to know. So, yeah. This is how we get to what we got. You know what I mean? Actually, no, let me take it back. No, I think Noah was first, right? Noah was first, wasn't it? Hold on. I think he was first. Let me see. Noah. Yeah, Noah. Yeah, Noah was before. Yeah, he came from the line of Abraham came from the line of Noah. So, yeah, the word got flooded already. My bad. Word got flooded. Okay. Yeah, that was the opposite. Okay, so he made Abraham great, and he made him a father of many nations. Okay, so a lot of nations that we got are based off of Abraham. Like we got, one of the nations he has is Islam. Abraham's the father of Islam. He's also the father of, Christianity as well, and Judaism, and a few other nations of people that, say they practice and love God. So he's the father of many nations. All right. Let me go to Genesis 15. Genesis 15, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It says, After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision, saying, do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward. But Abram said, Lord God, what will you give me, seeing I go childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, look, you have given me no offspring. Indeed, one born of my house is my heir. Indeed, one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, saying, this one shall not be your heir, but one who will come from your own body shall be your heir. So he was thinking that somebody's going to be his heir because he had no kids yet. But God said, nah, your heir going to come from your body. That's confirmation. God told him and his wife, seed will come from you. Okay? Y'all two. But it was getting old. They thought because it was getting old, they wasn't going to be able to have no kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it said, and behold, the word of the Lord saying that this one should not be an heir, but the one who will come from your own body shall be an heir. Then he brought him outside and said, look now toward heaven and count the stars, if you are able to number them. And he said to him, so shall your descendants be. That's a lot of stars on this galaxy.
So shall your what?
So shall your descendants be.
Oh, okay.
Now, that's why that's important. You know, look towards the heavens. Again, that's going back to the chapter we said at the beginning, right? Where's heaven? Heaven's in the sky. So we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven might be light years away. We might not be able to get there. But there is a heaven, and it's above us. Not below us. Not inside of us. It's far away. We look in the sky. That's confirmation. Okay.
Yeah.
And it said here, and he believed the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. He accounted it to him for righteousness. Okay. Then he said to him, I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land to inherit. And he said, Lord God, how should I know that I inherited it? Right? The land. So he said to him, bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Then he brought all these to him and cut them into two down the middle and placed each piece opposite the other. But he did not cut the birds in two. And when the vultures came down on the carcasses, Abraham drove them away. Now, when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and behold, horror and great darkness fell upon him. Then he said to Abraham, know certainly that your descendants will be strangers in the land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them for 400 years. And also the nation whom they serve, I will judge. Afterward, they shall come out with great possessions. Now, as for you, you should go to your fathers in peace. You should be buried at a good old age. But in the 4th generation, they shall return here, for an equity of the Amorites is not yet complete. Let's go back to that for a second. I want you to catch a key point that he said. Okay? This is what God said to Abraham, or Abram. Abram at the time. He wasn't Abraham yet. He was Abram. Know certainly that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them for 400 years. Who that sound like? Someone take a stab at it. Who are we talking about?
They should who?
Let me say it again. Know certainly that your descendants, and he's talking about Abraham, he's talking about his descendants in the future, will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them for 400 years.
Wow.
Who was taken from their land and sent to a strange land they'd never been to before and been afflicted for 400 years?
You said his descendants, right?
His descendants, yeah, Abraham. Abraham is the father of many nations. So who was his descendants? Who were the people that got afflicted for 400 years?
His generation, right?
No, his descendants his descendants. Abraham's descendants in the future were going to be afflicted for 400 years, okay? And they have to serve somebody for 400 years.
Okay, what does descendant mean?
Descendant, let's look at descendant. I'll tell you right now.
Mhm.
Okay, descendant.
The first generation.
Now we're going to look at the meaning right now. A descendant, a person, plant, or animal that is descended from a particular ancestor.
Ancestors.
Right.
Mhm.
So that means you come from your ancestors, right? That's what descendant is.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, generation.
So if Abraham is our ancestors, and God said, your ancestors, though, are going to be afflicted for 400 years in a land, a strange land they've never been to before.
Right. His people.
Who we talking about?
His people, his people's peoples.
Because we can't say, now here's the thing. People might say, whoa, they might say, wait a minute, that's the Jewish people, the ones that over there in Israel. They got slaves, they was a slave too. So maybe talking about them. They weren't taken to a land that they didn't know nothing about. They're afflicted in their own land. But I can tell you about who were taken from a land and brought into a land that was strange, that was not their land, and afflicted for 400 years. Us. You feel me? The Bible don't make no mistakes.
Right.
This is written way before slavery.
Right.
Let me say that again. This was written way before slavery happened. Slavery happened when in America? About the 1400s, right?
Yeah.
This Bible, this information was way before that, thousands of years before that, even before Jesus. He came before that.
Right.
And talking about this stuff. Your descendants, one of them, some of them gonna be brought to a strange land they've never been before, and they're gonna be afflicted for 400 years. It also says in Deuteronomy 28, that same thing. They're gonna be taken on ships to a land they've never been before. On ships. Who was taken on ships?
That's deep.
For 400 years and afflicted and enslaved and treated like, you know what I mean? Cattle. See, this is why the word is the word.
Exactly.
Unless you read this book, like you read any book, like you read it, like your life depending on it, this is how you get to know God. But not only get to know God, this is how you get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Because you didn't get to know who you are until you read this book, until you understand this is your ancestors you're talking about here.
Yeah.
These are your ancestors in this book. This ain't no regular some person you don't know. No, this is your ancestors. This is your great 20 million times great granddad you're talking about here.
Right.
This is why it's important to understand new Bible study, because we learn something there every day. And every day you read this book, you're gonna learn something.
That is the truth.
And that's what I'm learning. I've been learning by reading this book. That's why I take Saturdays off, because you know what is Sabbath for? Sabbath for the rest, and also get closer to God. That's the Sabbath for. So this is why I'm getting closer to God. I'm getting closer to God with my brethrens and my ladies, you know, and my brothers. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. We getting closer to God. So we learn more about him. You learn about history. You learn
Yeah.
about the promises that he gave us and the things he told us going to be in the future. So we can understand what's going on. That's why he wants us to read this book. Because they want us to read this book and we don't know how to read. We can't know about our history.
Yeah.
And this is why there's so many things I can say, but I'm not gonna do that because we gotta keep going. All right, but you know what I'm saying. All right. So we're gonna go to the next one, man.
Yeah.
Just think about that for a second. Just thinking about that,
Yeah.
Descendants will be in strangers in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them for 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
And also the nation whom they serve, I will judge afterward. They shall come out with great possessions. Now, as for you, you should go to your fathers in peace. He told him, no, you didn't go through this though. You go to your fathers in peace, but your descendants though, they're gonna suffer. But you are gonna be straight. You good. That's what he said. You good. You're gonna be buried at a good old age. That's what it said. A good old age. You're gonna be buried at Abram. But in the fourth generation, they shall return here for an equity of the Amorites is not yet complete. Amorites not going to complete. And it came to pass when the sun went down and it was dark, that behold, there appeared a smoking oven and a burning torch that passed between those pieces. On the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, to your descendants, I have given this land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates, the Kenites, the Kenzanites, the Carmontes, the Hittites, the Perizzites, and the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. I can start to say these names. It's hard. I'm
That's
trying.
okay. I know. Just say it. Say it how you see it and keep it smooth. Like
I'm trying.
you got.
Yeah, I don't speak this language, so But again, it's in English, but it's not. It's spelled way different. So yeah, but yeah,
Right.
that's those people that basically are gonna be his descendants. So those people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different groups of people. It's gonna be his nations, Abraham's nations. When the father made nations, these are the 10 that's gonna be his descendants right here. So if you wanted these right here, yeah, this is how we got here. Okay. All right. And you see, we are here in America, right? So, or in Americas, it goes to show in the land that was not ours originally. So, yeah. All right, so let's go to the next one right here. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one's gonna be Sarai, about Sarai, the impatient woman. Genesis 16. Because she was impatient. Now, I like Sarah, but she reminded me of somebody I know. I mean, she reminded me of a couple people I know. You know what I'm saying? She was hard-headed. But you know what though? God loved her though still, but she definitely had a knack for always defying something. God said you're gonna have a kid, you're gonna have a kid. Stop worrying about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. And this is why confirmation and clarification is important, because he told her she's gonna get a kid. She didn't believe it. Okay? She did not believe at that age you have a kid. Okay? So now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children. She had an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, see now, the Lord has restrained me from bearing children. Okay? So she said, see now, the Lord has restrained me from bearing children. She just, the audacity from her. Okay? Talk about he restrained her. He didn't restrain you, Gorman. He said, you're going to have children in time. Okay? Just wait. Just wait on it a little bit. Okay, but you want to rush things. You want to go in your time. It ain't about what you go in your time. This is another problem right here. Not to go. It ain't about what you want in your time. It's about what God wants His time.
Exactly.
You ever try to do something and it didn't work out for you because it was supposed to happen at the time, but it happened later on because it wasn't supposed to happen at that time.
Mm-hmm.
God's time and your time is not the same time sometimes.
To stay on
So people be, but you know what? Let's continue. It says here, she said, "See now, the Lord has restrained me from bearing children. Please go into my handmaid, or please go into my maid. Perhaps I shall obtain children by her." So, see this?
Select 2 lanes to stay on I-80.
She told him to sleep with the handmaid.
The whole. The
Sarai, she wanted a kid so bad, she
Uh-huh.
told her husband, Abram, okay, go and sleep with the maid real quick. Make a baby. I want a baby. Okay, I want it now.
Okay.
Okay, she wasn't trying to wait no more. She was impatient.
Yes.
Okay, and you know what? A lot of people are patient in this world. Impatience is a virtue. Okay, number
Yeah.
one. But she was, when it comes to impatience, she probably one of the most patient people I've seen because he told her it's gonna happen, and she's just like, nah, you know what? Go ahead and sleep with her and make a baby. Like she's just defiant. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but whatever. We understand because she's human, and everybody, you know, has human things that they have as far as when they, you know, things they do. So let's keep continuing. Okay, so she's going to my maid. Perhaps I shall obtain children by her. And Abram heeded the voice of Sarai. Then Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, keyword Egyptian. So you know where she's from.
Mm-hmm.
The Egyptian, and gave her to her husband. So, and gave her to her husband. So this is where the mother wives come from right there. See what I'm saying? Because she gave him that woman. Okay? She didn't have to. She chose to give him that woman. See what I'm saying, Vern?
Mm-hmm.
See, Vern?
Yeah.
See what happens? You gave him that woman. Don't try to go back now. No takey backies.
Right.
You gave him that woman. All right. So right. He gave her that. She gave him the woman and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. Okay. After Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, so he went into Hagar, and she conceived.
Okay.
First time. Amen.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress became became despised in her eyes. Okay. So that means she started feeling some type of way. Sarah started feeling some type of way because, you know what I'm saying, she had a baby. You know, she was fertile. Like baby popped out quick. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't get one, so she was tight. You know what I mean? Then Sarai said to Abraham, "My wrong be upon you." Come on now. Now you gonna say he wrong now? What he do? He did what you told him to do. He did what he told. You told him to sleep with her, and he did it, and now he got a kid. And now you want to talk about he wrong. My wrong be upon you. Okay, but little, what's that mark? Exclamation mark after that too. Okay. He says, "I gave my maid into your embrace. And when she saw that she had conceived, I became despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between me and you." Okay. So Abram said to Sarah, "Indeed, your maid is in your hand to do to her as you please." So he said, he put it on her. He said, "Hey now, that's your handmaid servant. That's your servant. That was your maid. You gave her to me."
Right.
Okay. You made a choice to do this. Don't try to put it on, make it about me and make it like I did. No, you indeed is your handmaid servant. Yeah, to do to her as you please. And when Sarai dealt harshly with her, she fled from her presence. So Sarai started doing, being wrong. Started, treating her bad. Okay. And she fled from her presence, meaning she ran off somewhere. You know what I mean? Now the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, by the spring on the way to Sur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, where have you come from and where are you going? So the angel of the Lord, right? He said that to her.
Right.
Where you come from? Where are you going? And she said, I am fleeing from the presence of my mistress Sarai. Okay. In layman's terms, I'm out of here because I ain't got time for this nonsense. Okay. In layman's terms. And the angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit yourself under her hand. Like, you can't go and do all that. No. Go back. Okay. You a servant. So you go take it back, go back there, and you got to deal with it. Okay. You got to deal with that because at the end of the day, hey, they blessed by God, so you got to go back. Okay.
Right.
And so he told her to return, right, back to her hand. And the angel of the Lord said to her, I will multiply your descendants exceedingly, so that they shall not be counted for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said to her, behold, you are with child, and you shall bear a son, and you should call him his name Ishmael, because the Lord has heard your affliction. He shall be a wild man.
Wow.
His hand shall be against every man, and every man's against his. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees. For she said, have I also here seen him who sees me? Therefore, the well was called Bir Laha Rio. Observe, it is between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar bore Abraham his son, and Abram named his son, whom Hagar bore, Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram. He was 86 years old. He was an old man given the year, but back then it was a little different. He was living a little longer, but he was an older man. Okay. Back in the day, before that, they was living longer years. It was going to be like 300, 400 years old. Now they was dying like earlier. They started, when God took that, after Noah, he made the years less. So it was 120 years. So people started dying quicker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
The person who didn't die, it is Enoch and Elijah.
A lot. You looked it up?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Elijah and Moses too. Moses got taken up as well from Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
Because he's easy. God took him too, so God took him as well. So anybody God took up didn't die. They went somewhere, but they didn't die. Okay. So now we're gonna go to the promise, the son of promise. Okay. Genesis 18, 1 through 15. Okay. It says here.
15? You said Genesis 15?
Genesis 18.
1
through 15 is the verses. Gotcha. Then the Lord appeared to him by the Tarib beneath trees of Mamre. Okay. As he was sitting in the tent of the door of the heat of the day, so he lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, 3 men were standing by him. Now here's another thing. 3 men were standing by him, right? And when he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed himself on the ground. So these 3 men he's seen. What's been important, right? And he would bow himself on the ground.
Yeah.
And said, my Lord, if I have now found favor in your sight, do not pass on by your servant. Please let a little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree. So he wanted to wash their feet. Okay. And I will bring a morsel of bread that you may refresh your hearts. After that, you may pass by, inasmuch as you have come to your servant. So they was coming by his. Now, mind you, this is what it's going to get good at, because they was coming by they was coming by to stop by him. They stopped by him for a reason. Because he's going somewhere else. We're going to talk about where we're going to go. This is the last, we almost the last chapter, but we almost there. But he's going past, it's the last part of the day, going past his house, and he seen him, and he ran out, and all that stuff, was happy to see him, right? And he bowed down and said, Lord. Like he don't understand why it was there, but he knew it was there. And he got some bread. So after he did that right there, right, he brought a morsel of bread. He said, I'm gonna refresh your hearts that you may pass by as much as you have come to your servant. He was happy that they came by. They said, do as you have said. So they said, go ahead, go and get some bread and some water, wash our feet, whatever. Cool, that's cool. You know what I mean? So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah and said, quickly, make ready 3 measures of fine meal, knead it and make cakes. And Abraham ran to the herd, took a tender and good calf, gave it to a young man, and he hastened to prepare it. So he took butter and milk and a calf, which he had prepared, and set it up before them. And he stood by them under the tree as they ate. Okay. Then he said to him, where's your wife, Sarah? So then they said to him, where is Sarah, your wife? So they asked about Sarah now, right?
Yeah.
Why is this part? This is the part that's funny, because she I want to meet her one day. I do want to meet her. I just wanted to have a conversation, because she seemed like a strong woman. Okay. So then they said to him, where is Sarah, your wife? So he said, here in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return to you according to the time of life. And behold, Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. Okay. Sarah was listening in the tent door, which is behind him. Now, Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in age, and Sarah had passed the age of childbearing. Therefore, Sarah laughed within herself. Key word. She laughed within herself, saying, after I have grown old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being so old also? Meaning, basically saying her and her husband being old, we'll finally have the pleasure of having a kid. Like, all right. And the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh, saying, I surely bear a child since I'm old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time, I will return to you according to the time of life, and Sarah will have a son. Okay? That's what God said. But Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. And he said, no, but you did laugh.
Yeah.
That's God talking to Sarah. Let me say that again. She tried to tell him she laughed. He knew you laughing. He heard. He even hear you, because she laughed inside of herself. She did it like to herself, but he knew she was laughing at him. God know everything going. He know what you can't laugh and think you don't know it. He know you laughing.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the point I want to make about that one. The reason why I talk about that one, why that's important, because Sarah, she denied. She didn't really believe that he was gonna give her a child. And she thought just because she was old, because a lot of women that are old, talking about they can't have kids no more. Yes, you can. If God wants you to have a kid, you can have a kid at 99 years old. Now, is that normal? No, it ain't. But it's possible. Anything's possible with God. Not with man, but anything's possible with God.
That's right.
So this is why I say, the confirmation, he said it twice to her, you're going to have a kid. And she didn't believe it. She didn't want to believe it, because she's like, nah, we passed that age. But he like, you got the kid. Don't you worry. And it was so. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's another thing that happens, right? So right then, after that happened, okay, then it says, then the men rose from there and looked toward Sodom. And Abraham went with them to send them away, right? And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am doing? Says Abraham shall surely become great in a mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have known him in order that he may command his children and his household after him, that they keep the way of the Lord and to do righteousness and justice, that the Lord may bring Abraham what he has spoken to him. And the Lord said, because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grave, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry against it that has come to me. And if not, I will know. So what's going on here is, you know, there was time to debate whether they should tell Abraham they better go to Sodom and Gomorrah and destroy that bad boy. I think we know why. Because his nephew lived over there right next door to Sodom and Gomorrah. He was right in that area. His nephew, Lot.
Yeah.
So we almost done. This is almost the last chapter right we have to get into, and then we're done. But this right here is important because watch what Abraham says next. Because he knows what's going on now. Because they tell him.
Oh, shit.
They tell him they go into Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Right.
And then it says, then the men turned away towards Sodom and Gomorrah, but Abram still stood before the Lord. So he's still standing now. He like, hold up, wait a minute. They're going, what you about to do? What's going on? Hold on. And this is what he said to him. He said, and Abram came near and said, will you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Because now you're concerned now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Abraham concerned now. He said, will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there were 50 righteous within that city. Will you also destroy the place and not spare it for the 50 righteous that were in it?
Oh, God. I gotta.
And he said, far be it from you to do such a thing as this, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous should be as the wicked. Far it be from you, shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Meaning he's asking God, God basically, three men, right? This is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit right now he's talking to. Okay? That's why it's three of them. Pay attention. So he asking him that. He asking the question to God, would you destroy a city with righteous people in it? With the wicked? Or would you not take the wicked people by themselves and take the righteous people out of it? Right? So the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare the place for their sakes. If he found 50, then Abraham answered and said, indeed, now I who am but dust and ashes have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. He's humbling himself. He's saying, I'm nobody. I'm dust and ashes. But he's talking to the Lord. He's to speak to you. But he says, suppose there were 5 less than the 50 righteous. Will you destroy all the city for lack of 5? So he said, if I find 45, I will not destroy it. That's what God's saying. If I find 45 people there, I will not destroy it. Then he said, let not the Lord be angry. This is what Abraham said. Let not the Lord be angry. And I will speak. Suppose there are 30 should be there found there. So he said, I will not do it if I found 30 there to Abraham. Okay. And he said, indeed, now I have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 should be found there. So he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of 20. Then he said, let not the Lord be angry. I will speak, but once more, suppose 10 should be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. So the Lord went on his way as soon as he had finished speaking with Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. So now Abraham is asking the question. He asked him a question because he's saying, is anybody there that God finds favor with in that city? Because he's about to burn it down. He knows what's about to happen. Okay? He's just hoping that Lot is righteous and is going to get them out of there. He's hoping his nephew's going to be saved and his family. That's why he said that so many times. That's clarification, right? He's asking God, is there any righteous people there? If there's 50 righteous people to 10 righteous people, if there's anybody righteous there, would you let them live? Would you let them live? If there's even 4, would you let them live? And God said, if they're righteous, he gonna let them live. He ain't saying he's gonna destroy the rest of them, but he'll let them live. So what happened was after that, right, which you go now to 19, okay, this is the last chapter, last Bible study, Sodom is depravity. So now the 2 angels came. So now,
2 lanes to stay on I-81 north.
So now, remember, it was three men before. Now was only 2. But here's the thing, they're not men no more. Remember, there's men before that you seen, right? That was the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, that's the clarification part. That's the confirmation. But now it says, now the 2 angels came to Sodom in the evening. So this is 2 separate angels. This angel is now coming. They weren't the men that Abraham seen. These are 2 separate men, two separate beings, 2 angels coming down now. Okay, so they went to Sodom. So this means they must have already, the 3 men went to Sodom already, right? And after they went there, which was not men, it was really God, right? So he bowed down to him and everything because he knew that was God. Okay, there was 3 of them. Now they sent 2 angels. Now after they went down there and looked at it, what's going on, they sent 2 angels. Okay.
So that's 2 lanes to stay
Right.
on I-81 north.
So the 2 angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. When Lot saw them, he rose to meet them. So he's seen the 2 angels, like, oh, what's going on here? So he rose up, you know what I mean? And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, "Hear now, my lords, please turn into your servant's house and spend the night and wash your feet. Then you may rise early and go on your way." Right? He's trying to tell them to come in his house because he already knows what's up. Meaning, like, what's going on out in these streets. He already know these people are here wicked as hell. So he's like, yo, come with me, please. You know what I mean? And they said no. They said no. But we will spend the night in the open square. So they said, we're going to sit right in the middle of the city. But he insisted strongly, so they turned into him and into his house. Then he made them a feast and baked unleavened bread, and they ate. Right? So they listened to him because he begged them, like, come on, please, assistant. He's like, come and stay in my house, please. They go in his house and they ate a feast. They had unleavened bread and some other stuff, right? Okay. Now, before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both old and young, all the people from every quarter surrounded the house.
This thing keep going on.
And they called to Lot and said to him, "Where are the men who came to you tonight?"
Excuse me.
Yeah.
My lights keep going out.
On
the trailer.
Oh, it's your plug. You got to pull over and fix your plug.
I just did that and then it went out again.
You gotta put something in there. Put like a little piece of like tissue or something, or like a little piece of like
Society?
Yeah, anything inside it, like a little piece of bag or something. Something that like can make it stay still. It's moving around. That's the problem. It's moving.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I'll put a piece of tissue.
Yeah, piece of tissue or something. Yeah, something can make it like stay stiff. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let me say this again. So now, before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both old and young, all the people from every quarter surrounded the house, and they called to Lot and said to him, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us that we may know them carnally." Let's look at what carnally means.
Thank God there's a love right here.
Okay. Definition of carnal,
What is the word?
carnally, relating to physical, especially sexual needs and activities. So these men and young men and old men from Sodom and Gomorrah told Lot, hey, bring them men out you brought in the house so we may have sex with them. This is how wicked they are, man. It's going on to this day. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know
Okay.
which way to go.
So Lot went out to them and through the doorway, shut the door behind them, and said, please, my brethren, do not do this, do so wickedly. See, now I have 2 daughters who have not known a man. Please let me bring them out to you, and you may do to them as you wish. Only do not do nothing to these men, since this is the reason they have come under the shadow of my roof. So basically, they already knew what's going on. Okay? You follow me? They already told Lot, we about to bomb this whole city, and we're gonna get you up out of here. They already told him that already, right? That's why he came to his house, right? Yeah. Okay, so and they said, stand back. Then they said, this one came in to stay here, and he keep acting as a judge. So now they saying Lot acting like a judge, trying to say like Lot trying to think he do good to you know what I'm saying, he trying to tell everybody what to do. Who do you think he is, right? Yeah. Now we will deal worse with you than with them. So now he's saying that they're gonna do something to him too, right? They're gonna deal worse. So they're gonna sleep with them angels that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. They don't know them, they just gonna sleep with them, but they're gonna do worse to him now. You feel me? So they pressed it hard against the man Lot and came near to break down the door. But the men reached out their hands and pulled Lot into the house with them. The angels grabbed and put him in the house, right? Yeah. And shut the door. And they struck the men who were at the doorway of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they became weary trying to find the door. So he blinded them. So they couldn't see nothing. Okay?
Okay.
Then the men said to Lot, have anyone else here? Have you anyone else here? Son-in-law, your sons, your daughters, and whoever you have in the city. Take them out of this place. So the people, the angels told them, whoever you got, son-in-laws, daughters, whatever, whoever you have in the city, take them out of this place. Get them out of here. For we will destroy this place. Because the outcry against them has grown great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. You feel me? Yeah. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who had married his daughters and said, get up, get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But his sons-in-law, he seemed to be joking. So they thought he was playing. They thought he was playing, y'all. But he wasn't joking. When the morning dawned, the angels urged Lot to hurry, saying, arise, take your wife and your daughters who are here, lest you be consumed in the punishment of the city. And while he lingered, the men took hold of his hand and his wife's hand and the hands of his 2 daughters, and the Lord being merciful to him, and they brought him out and set him outside the city. So it came to pass when they brought him outside that he said, escape for your life. Do not look back. Do not look behind you, nor stay anywhere in the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest you be destroyed. Okay? And Lot said to them, please, no, my lords. Indeed, now your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have increased your mercy, which you have shown me by saving my life. But I cannot escape to the mountains, lest some evil overtake me and I die. See, now this city is near enough to flee, and it is a little one. Please let me escape there. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. So he wanted to go to another place that was like closer, another little small city to get away from Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. And he said to him, see, I have favored you concerning this thing also, and that I will now overthrow the city for which you have spoken. Hurry, escape there, for I cannot do anything until you have arrived there. Therefore, the name of the city is called Zorah. The sun had risen upon the earth when Lot entered Zorah. Then the Lord rained down brimstone and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord of the heavens, from the Lord out of the heavens, okay, out of the sky. So he overthrew the cities, all the plain, all the inhabitants of the city, and what grew on the ground. But his wife looked back behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham went early into the morning into the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and he saw, and behold, the smoke of the land, which went up like the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out the midst to overthrow it, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot had dwelt. So, let's talk about this part, though. Even though God said, don't look back at the city, get out of here, escape for your life, what does wife do? Sad.
You said what?
What did Lot's wife do when after God told him to take him out? It took him out the city, put him on the outside of the city, right, and told him to leave and flee and go into over there into the little small other city over on the other side of the way. Do you know what happened?
What did his
wife do? God told him to leave the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Lot.
Yeah.
And go, you know what I'm saying, away, run for your life. Okay. He got him out the city first, and then he told him to run for your life, go that way, right? Do not look back. Do not turn around, do not look back. What did Lot's wife do?
The wise wife?
Lot's wife.
She looked back. She looked back.
She looked back, y'all.
Yeah, she looked back.
See, the hard-headedness is ridiculous these days, man. And you know what? It's still going to this day. People gonna still look back.
Yeah.
Even though God told them, don't look back, keep going. Run for your life. Escape for your life. Go that way. Don't look back. Because you turn back, you look back, it's over. What she do? She looked back.
She did.
She looked back. And she turned to a pillar of salt. That's why I sent that picture of that woman looking back, turned to a pillar of salt. Why she do that? Now, me personally, that was clarification.
That was
right?
Curiosity.
Curiosity, maybe. Yeah.
Curiosity, yeah.
Maybe the fact is she was out there doing some stuff we don't know about too. That's why he was going to destroy the city in the first place. Because at the end of the day, none of them was really good. He was going to destroy the whole city. Both of them. So God wasn't trying to save nobody at the end of the day, but he knew Abraham loved Lot as his nephew. And he said, you know what, I'll save him and his family. But then you see, it went to the sons, try to get them out of there, and the son thought he was lying. He thought he was joking.
Yeah, disobedience too.
And this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, people got to understand, man, God don't play with nobody. And that's confirmation, because he told him, don't look back. And what she do? She thought he was joking too or something. And she turned around and looked back. And look what happened. She turned to a pillar of salt. This is why I say, you know, some people don't listen. You know, Sarai didn't listen either when God said he's going to give her a son at first. She didn't want to believe it either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, Cain didn't believe when God told him that if you do your best, will you not get rewarded? Would I not give you my, best, whatever? Like, but you want to kill your brother after he told you that. Yeah, why was you angry? What you angry for? What you mad for, bro? And he killed him. Wow. That was his response to God after God told him, gave him some advice. He's responsible to kill his own brother. People don't listen because see,
Yeah.
confirmation and clarification is important here to understand that, like I said, God don't make no mistakes. And not only don't make no mistakes, he ain't gonna tell no lies. And if he tells you don't turn around, don't look back, it's for a reason.
Yep.
And she found out the hard way. She turned to a pillar of salt. Man, I don't know if she turned back because she wanted to see how the place blow up. Maybe it was a beautiful city. I don't know. But what I do know is, I don't know if she knew the consequences of looking back what happened. But she found out. Maybe God knew something we don't know. Maybe he knew about how she really was. And that she was really evil too. And doing all kinds of wild stuff that we don't know nothing about. Maybe they don't talk about that. But maybe she could have been. That's something we don't know. So we can't clarify that. But we will say this. She turned around for a reason. She wanted to see behind her what she was leaving behind. And that should not be what she be worried about. What she left behind.
She did.
If God said look forward and go forward, he mean that. Don't look back behind you. Because that's not important. Go forward. Right. So yeah, that right there, is just, more, like I said, confirmation. And it's a beautiful story we read in, but this is our history at the same time. And this is why it's important to read, man, and to study this book, because we learn a lot every time we do it. And everybody sees things differently. But this is why, because we have different languages, we have different understandings, we have different things. But with God, there's only one understanding.
Yep.
And one understanding is that he's real and that he's alive and he is just. And if we know that, then we know that we need to follow his word. And his word, whether it's from Jesus, whether it's from other disciples, prophets that happened before or after, but if it's from God, you would know. And if it's from God, you got to take heed to it, because at the end of the day, we see what happens when you don't. Okay. But yeah, that's cool. Bible say, man, confirmation versus clarification. And again, what that means for confirmation is the action of confirming something or the state of being confirmed. Okay.
Yes.
Give an example of that. Sylvia received official confirmation from her instructor, or you have got accepted letter from your school that you have got accepted to college. Okay, that's confirmation. Okay, you got something, a receipt. You got the facts. You know what I mean? You got the real information. Whereas in clarification is the action of making a statement or a situation less confused and more comprehensible, meaning making it easier for you to understand.
Amen.
And I think these stories right here are very easy to understand.
Yeah.
And the confirmation is what happens, cause and effect of what happened in these stories that we read today. And we talked about. So that's what Bible study today about. And yeah, that's pretty much anybody got any questions about anything we talked about?
No, okay.
Well, that is the Bible study for today. You know what I mean?
All right.
So I'm glad y'all come. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
All right. See you next time, man.
Yeah, man. See y'all next time, or hit me up anytime. But yeah, every Saturday, we're gonna be at.
Yes.
We're gonna be at. Whether I'm
definitely.
Whether I'm broke down at a hotel or not, it's gonna be. As long as I got a laptop or phone or something, you're gonna see me.
Amen.
You're gonna be here. I love y'all. And,
all right.
God bless.
God
Y'all
bless
be
you
safe.
too. All right. Thanks.
Peace.
Bye bye. Nice.